9, 12 nhá.
Okay, yeah. All right. So now I'll ask you some questions about the disadvantages. First of all, what do you think of the disadvantages of using technology in education?
Um, I think in this modern era, bringing technology into everything is what we are head to, and education is not something that out of the game. Um, but I personally think that it has some drawbacks, and the most we can see is that um, it can uh, it can make children using it like in the wrong way. What I mean is that it can make students easier to cheat, because nowadays um, uh, teachers tend to use apps on smartphones to uh, make like tests for students to acquire. But to me personally, think that even when they are like like a good assistance, but there are still some ways for children to find their ways to cheat on their score. So I don't think that's a very good idea. And moreover, using technology in education can bring a lot of advantages, but I think it could brings like it could put some students in disadvantages because um, like not everyone are capable of having like good technologies devices in their house, uh, s- because I mean that I think that they cannot afford it or something. So when it comes to have like a test, or having like you have to have like a smartphone to access your course or something, some students are incapable of that. So I think that it's really not good because it's really put them behind, and it can even create them good. No, it can even create them bad feelings about that. Yeah, and so I think that using technology in education can have like those disadvantages.
Okay, very nice. So, what do you think of the disadvantages of online or so-called internet shopping?
So first of all, I think that the disadvantages of uh, online shopping is that there are so many like sources of goods. So we don't and we cannot have it like qualified. So we cannot see, we cannot touch it. So we don't know if it's really qualified or something. So and they can use like fake images. So we cannot know about the quality of the product, and we may receive something different from what we have ordered. Um, that's really create like a bad experiences for online shoppers. Mm, I think the second disadvantages of this is that uh, we tend to go online to searching for goods that we want, but we forgot that some of the offline stores in our local place can have it too. And so when we just tend to go online and shop for the things we want. We just left the offline store behind, and it can create like um, I don't know, I don't know what it's called.
Chat button.
So basically, that's all I think about when it comes to online shopping.
Okay, very well. Uh, okay, what are the disadvantages of living in the countryside?
Oh, I think that the disadvantages of living in a countryside. Um, I think the worst thing about it is that it have limited access to healthcare. You know that health like the most important things to us, and whenever we have like us living in a city, whenever we have like an ill and like something's not right with our body, we can basically just run into hospitals, big hospitals, or a personal clinic. But people in the countryside, they don't have those things. They don't have the big hospitals or personal clinics, and sometimes in some really like people from far, really far away, when there are very few people live there, they don't even have like a healthcare center. So it's really hard for them. And second of all, um, I think that there will be fewer education opportunities, um, because in the countryside there are fewer people living there. So uh, of course, uh, school are limited to open, and therefore there are not much opportunities for students there. And even though competitions and some extra activities for students will not be promoted to those area. Yeah, so that's the two things I can think of when it comes to disadvantages when living in a country. So, can you tell me about the disadvantages of using technology in education?
Yep. So, as the development of technologies in this modern era, it is unavoidable to indeed apply technology to educations, but of course, indeed, in some perspective, it has dealt a lot of damage mentally and physically to the young generations. But why? First of all, is because, well, as you can see, the older era where students used to spend a lot of times outside in the world, and beside their studyings at schools, so they get to develop a lot of physical endurance. And you know, most of the child in the old era tends to have a more open mind because they spend a lot of time outside in the outside world. They should tend to acquire a lot of, you know, practical skills.
Hmm.
But however, it is true that technology does provide the convenience of knowledge and informations very fast. But of course, you cannot, control every aspect of the informations on the line because it is very vast and wild and uncontrollable. Therefore, just wrong decisions or wrong path can lead the child to many bad behaviors, which are caused, which most of the you know crimes and bad behaviors that teenage or higher and lower age cause is due to the bad information on the internet. Like it is very common for people to get mad in Vietnam when they talk to some people on Facebook or some kind of social media, and they would just committed a crime in the real world. Therefore, it is very bad for it. There are some downsides of technology in educations because it is a very chaotic place. Without the right control, it will lead to various, you know, bad decisions or disasters. And the most, dangerous aspect of internet is that it is proved scientifically that children is nowadays is getting less and less ability to focus due to the internet has many abilities, and while you're studying it is hard to just focus entirely on studying with a website opening or internet accessing to your computers. It requires a lot of ability and commitment to do that, and not all children has it. So it is very easy to lose your concentrations on work or study. Therefore, it is very bad for those young age. I think that only should apply for a certain amount of age to acquire technology in their educations, because children at young age they cannot control their behaviors. Therefore, the the ability to decide correctly in different situations with internet and education is kind of hard and hard to control as well. So those are my three opinions about the disadvantages of applying technologies to educations.
Mm-hmm. So, what about the disadvantages of online shopping?
Well, personally, I'm not the guy who prefers online shoppings due to the inconsistency of information got provided on websites. There are a lot of websites that use a technique called phishing and scamming nowadays. Because an image of a good product, you basically can get it everywhere. But proving of a quality product is kind of hard, and most product that got proven, qualities usually come with a pretty high cost, which I can just go to a store and pay it by myself. And beside that, it is true that online shopping is very convenient, especially in those pandemic situations nowadays, because due to the offline and local shop got closed, you can just browse your item of interest and shop it online and got shipped for you through depends on the locations where you bought it. It kind of lasts about 1 to 2 months at most, so it's pretty very convenient. But however, a lot of package from the outside, countries got lost during shipments to Vietnam. I don't know if it is caused by scam or even the before an item got shipped to our country, it has to go through the gates of I don't know what it's called, but there has been rumors, information that it is not a trusted, you know, third parties that can provide you your goods.
Yeah.
However, beside those two opinions, there's I think that shopping online is kind of easier to get addicted, which is bad for mental or physical health, etc. But shopping, everything is just the same with a right amount. It is good, but overusing it will eventually cause to bad result. Even shopping online, because nowadays internet is a very dangerous place, and not much people notice about it. You can get your information stolen, even your credit card, if you gone to the wrong website at the wrong time. So it is a very dangerous place if you come to without knowledge or informations that necessary to protect yourself. Well, that's basically all my opinions about shopping online and the disadvantages of it.
Bao giờ rồi nói nữa?
Hả?
Bao
Bao
giờ
giờ?
rồi?
Thì thôi, stop and của
No.
mẹ broadcast thôi.